Good morning, this is Jay Trucker 717 and you have reached Jay Trucker 717 Broadcasting. Alright, again, I always start the morning with my cup of coffee. Alright, what is going on today? Crash leaves truck and trailer teeter atop opposite side of the bridge. A violent crash dismantled a semi-truck and left it poised to plunge off a West Virginia bridge this morning. The crash occurred at I-64 between Dunbar and South Charleston, West Virginia around 11 a.m. on May 20th. Authorities said the single vehicle crash occurred in the westbound lanes on the interstate near mile marker 53. And it's a pretty serious crash. Basically, the truck driver just hit the edge of the bridge. So again, be very careful out there. Let's take a look at this picture. It's pretty disturbing. All right, as you can see, that the cab of the truck is basically sitting on the bridge, and there's actually a way for the truck driver to actually open the door and get out. So hopefully he got out safely, but a very disturbing crash. All right, what else is going on? Okay, truckers finally got the White House meeting here. Here's what happened. After nearly 3 weeks of demonstrating in Washington, D.C., a group of truckers finally met with the White House officials to ask for federal help in the fight against cheap freight rates. Again, we've talked about it many times on the broadcast that the rates are pretty low, and looks like there's some price gouging on brokers and trucking companies, maybe. Okay, May 20th, Jim Mullen, acting administrator of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, and Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, hosted trucking representative Mike Landon and Sergey Carmen at a White House meeting. Landon represents the United States Transportation Alliance, USTA. Carmen founded and spearheaded EZLOGZ, EasyLog. President Trump was not present at the meeting. Following the hour-long meeting, Carmen and Landis recapped what happened for a jovial group of truckers outside of Washington, of the White House. We broke it down for them, transparency and what it's about and what exactly we want. How do we see it? Carmen said. Landis said, it was a hell of an experience. I'll say that. I'm honored that me and CJ got to go and represent you guys and the other 89.7% of the industry, that they acknowledge in there, they understand now it is not representative by the ATA, American Trucking Association, which is why we allowed us to come in there. One of the most interesting development reported Carmen and Landon after the meeting was the Department of Justice has opened an investigation into truckers' claim of price gouging and anti-truck violations by brokers. This confirms Tuesday reporting that Patch.com, the Attorney General William Barr, has ordered New Jersey U.S. Attorney Craig Carpenter to open an investigation into freight broker price gouging accusation. So this is very good news. Basically, they're opening an investigation into a lot of the price gouging, which is good because that's totally ridiculous that trucking companies and brokers are allowed to basically take advantage of the situation and leave truckers high and dry. Okay. Log truck driver, rough day caught on camera. We all had our rough days in driving. I'm laughing because I can remember the times, just one wrong decision can cause you a hours of heartache. I remember one time I made a turn And I'm thinking to myself, am I going to make this turn? I said, I got it. You know, you after you've been driving, you get kind of comfortable, and you make that turn, and instead of you swinging just an inch, a little bit more wider, you kind of cut it a little bit, and sure enough, you're stuck. And usually it's a situation where you're in the city, the roads are tight, and everybody's honking and going crazy. But the struggle is real for this log truck driver in this instantly viral dash camera clip. The video shared by Facebook user John Clark on May 19th. There was 530,000 hits on this video. So let's take a look at this. Okay, yeah, that was pretty bad. You know, when I was looking at the video, I thought he almost had it, and I think one of the things was that is that jerking, and I'm assuming that it was a stick shift. That's one of the nice things about automatics. You can kind of smoothly get out of things without doing a lot of shifting. But I think when he let off that clutch and then jerking like that, that kind of threw the logs over. But it looked like he's gonna have a bad day anyway. All right, so what else is going on? Truckers ask FMCSA for immediate action against unscrupulous brokers. Again, this seems to be a pretty sore thumb for truck drivers, is rates, and I don't blame them. The Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, OOIDA, and we talked about them before, filed a petition on Tuesday asking the federal action to increase broker transparency to protect the small business truckers. So one of the things the OOID is actually, there's two things that they're asking for. In May 19, the petition was entered, and the OOID asked for two specific things. Require brokers to automatically provide an electronic copy of each transaction record within 48 hours after the contractual service has been completed. Explicitly prohibit brokers from including any provision in their contracts that require a carrier to waive their rights to access the transaction records as required by 49 CFR. So again, what they're saying is that brokers are writing in the contract basically that you can't see what we got the freight for, and that's kind of a plain dirty ball. And so they want each transaction, any record of how much they got paid, to be given to the truckers within 48 hours, and they're requiring that no broker or trucking company can write that you can't see it. So those are good things. All right, what else is going on? Okay, the fate of Uber Freight unclear following the losses and major layouts of the company. Now, Uber Freight kind of got in the industry, kind of trying to basically go a little bit forward, a little bit more than the freight boards. They wanted a more easier process, and they kind of wanted to come in like the Uber, like the driving situation, like when you book a Uber vehicle. The vehicle shows up, the fare is already paid for, and there's a little map that shows you how to get to pick up the individual, and the individual gets in the car and gets to his final destination, where there's no middleman, it's directly to the driver and the person actually picking up. Now, they wanted to basically get the middleman out the way, and that's what Uber was trying to do with this Uber Freight. I think it was a good idea in the beginning, but I also wonder if, because I think one of the biggest problems with especially small truckers, small businesses in the trucking industry, is the long, grown out process to get your own authority and to be able to get freight and get the middleman out the way. If you don't have your own authority, you got to deal with a trucking company. That's a middleman. You're an owner operator. Why are you going to another trucking company who's in the same business as you are to actually do business with? So you should be able to deal directly with brokers. You and your owner operator, you should be able to deal directly with brokers. And if they would kind of make the process for owner operators to get their own authority, it would be a lot easier. So I thought it would have been a good idea, and I thought about this for a while, is creating an app. And I was thinking of the Uber app, like same process, where you could literally sit at a truck stop and you would sign up my Uber app, put your information in, and the app would do all of the processing to get your own authority. And all you would have to do is e-sign the documents, and you could run under the app's authority. In other words, you're an owner-operator. You don't have to go to another trucking company to run under their authority. You can run under the authority of that app. And that app would only take maybe a minimum of 2 to 5% off of the freight. And you would be able to go to the same load board as KLM, Snyder National, and get freight for the same price. Of course, the app would charge you 2 to 5%, but you'd be running under your own authority, basically, the authority of the app. I think that process would have been a lot easier. I think if Uber would have added that to what they were trying to do, I think they would have had a better success. But apparently they're not doing too well. Uber is reportedly reevaluating its trucking operations after steep financial losses and thousands of layoffs amid the coronavirus crisis. So they're saying it's because of the coronavirus. I think it's other. But anyway, Uber recently announced that they would lay off 3,000 employees and shutter 45 offices in an effort to cut costs, as the company has seen an 80% reduction in demand for ride hauling of services caused by the coronavirus. The news of the layoffs came only a couple of weeks after Uber announced its initial 3,700 worker layoff. So this actual process saved them $1 billion. And again, corporations will always cut labor, cut costs to actually save money and stay in business, because they got to be profitable. That's one of the main responsibilities they have to their stockholders, to be a profitable company. So you will see that all the time in corporations. All right. One of the things is I wanted to show you was what Uber was trying to do with this freight. How it looks. I wanted to basically show you how it will look on the phone. And because basically what happens is the person would have a phone. They'd be able to look at the freight and they'd be able to book the freight. And then that would also get to the back office of Uber. And then Uber would send a notice to the actual people who are booking freight for them on the whole process of the freight. And we're going to do that and also take a weather break. Be ready. Okay, so that's what it will look like on your phone. So you would be able to go onto your phone and look at some freight. And you can see right there, it says where the freight is leaving and arriving and the day it's needed. So all the information will be there on your phone. Okay, and the next process would be it would go to the Uber's back office. And then once it went to the Uber's back office, you could see this is what the customer would receive. Basically, it says a load was created load offered, driver one accepted, driver reassigning, assignment dispatch, in transit, and delivered. So that's what the actual customer would see. So they wouldn't have to make any phone calls or anything like that. They'd be able to see where the actual freight is in progress. So a little bit step further than the load boards.
Thursday is just going to be a rainy day in the plains overall, and we'll also have to watch out for some severe weather, especially down in western parts of Oklahoma, western Kansas, parts of the Texas Panhandle as well. Meanwhile, in the southeast, we're still talking some pretty significant rain. That's going to include the chance for some flooding, especially in parts of the Carolinas, but the threat's going to move a little bit further east than it was on Wednesday. Friday, watch out for some severe storms in the southern plains once again, and still just a rainy day from parts of the northeast into the mid-Atlantic, just some on and off showers and storms down in the southeast. Really starts to warm up on Saturday in places like Atlanta. High temperature of 87, just beautiful in the west on Saturday. And a chance for some severe storms up in the northern plains as well. And here's how we'll round out the weekend. Overall, just fantastic in the west. The central part of the country, we've still got some rain that'll be going on from the Ohio Valley all the way into the plains, and still some lingering showers in the southeast.
Okay, that is it for the news and everything today. Again, as I always say, no load is worth your life. Be safe out there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And this is Jay Trucker 717, and this is Jay Trucker 717 broadcasting. Peace. I'm out.